ready and locked and loaded. Here we go into the first game here. We have the Shadow Nidoqueen against the Trevenant.
And we've seen this play out before in swapping into the Wall Rain this time, and there's no direct answer from Andrew's side, so actually trying to swap an Icicle Spear doesn't quite get it, and now it's going to be the Azumarill versus the Wall Rain.
Yeah, you know, maybe expecting the Surfetch here as the bait out because we have the Galarian Stunfisk in the back too. Too weak to fighting Pokemon, backline Pokemon here. But we actually have the Sableye in the back for Andrew, which means Andrew actually does not need switch advantage to win this specific matchup against the Trevenant.
Yeah, and here comes a Protect Shield. That is interesting because I think you are out of Play Rough range, so you could take a Play Rough there as you're getting to the next Earthquake, and the Azumarill is definitely out of Earthquake range, so deciding to just let this one go.
Yeah, I think this puts Andrew in a pretty interesting position. Now, the Nidoqueen is not great against the Galarian Stunfisk, but it actually has quite a bit of an energy lead here, so that could change things, and both trainers are on one shield apiece too, so the Galarian Stunfisk won't even have a shield advantage going into that matchup.
You can absorb this, and you can actually build to an Earthquake and an Icicle Spear if you can survive these bubbles. I expect Bulk to try to do that. No, actually this decides to throw the Earthquake. This is probably going to be enough to take out the Azumarill, but it's going to be razor thin. Let's see if the Azumarill can endure barely with just a little bit of health. Can you get the Powder Snow down? You do secure it.
All right, so this is going to be an interesting situation for Andrew. Andrew is in a pretty good spot, especially against that Trevenant in the back and able to Poison Jab down. I really like this play, not revealing that Sableye, because once he sees this Galarian Stunfisk, he just knows, I just need to land this Earth Power, whittle down this Galarian Stunfisk as much as possible, and I have a great matchup with Sableye versus Trevenant in the back.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Nidoqueen health doesn't matter against Galarian Stunfisk because it gets knocked out by Earthquake no matter what, and the Earth Power lands as the swap into Sableye happens, having to throw a Desperation Rock Slide. I expect this to get no shielded.
Yeah, and I think as long as Andrew's counting and making sure knows confidently this is just a Rock Slide, and this is a huge Earth Power from Andrew there, and now completely switching the momentum of this game.
But did that Rock Slide put Sableye within range of Seed Bomb? I think the Trevenant will get to the second Seed Bomb just as the Sableye gets to the second Foul Play. So Trevenant might be able to win this. No, looks like the Foul Play might get there first, and I think Andrew's going to get to the double.
Yeah, and we do get a shield here. This is a huge shield from Bulk, because now Andrew can easily get to this next Foul Play in time and still has a Sableye with health remaining, and the Galarian Stunfisk is low. And let's not forget, there's still a whole Nidoqueen in the back.
Yeah, the Sableye is going to be able to knock out this Trevenant, no problem. Is going to try to reach for one more Foul Play before it gets knocked out with Rock Slide. This Galarian Stunfisk is energy dry, so I expect there to get there at the same exact time. They do. Charge move priority. Goes the Sableye. It's going to be able to knock out Galarian Stunfisk and take game number 1.
Wow, look at that game too. You can see Bulk potentially expecting the Surfetch, using the Safe Swap Wall Rain as a bait out there. But Andrew adapting, not relying as much on the Surfetch. And again, I think we're playing to Andrew's playstyle here.
And then you come all the way back around and you're at where you started, and maybe I'll just bring Surfetch.
Yeah, exactly. And so let's see, as our two trainers are locking in their Pokemon, we have the Azumarill into the Trevenant. This is going to be a great spot for Bulk, and you see the Wall Rain being spammed here for the safe swap.
But look at the back line, and this Trevenant does stay in to try to throw the Seed Bomb on charge move priority. So I think this is actually good for Andrew if that move registered, because you can throw some lasting damage against this Trevenant.
Yeah, saving the shield here for that potential Surfetch is really good, and that's huge charge move priority there. Even though it's the priority goes to Trevenant, we still tied there, and Andrew is able to get this Icicle Spear off, forcing a very early shield from Bulk.
And now you could have shield advantage for Surfetch, and it's what you want. You see that Lickitung swap in, but this is the best case scenario for this Lickitung. So this Lickitung might be able to lick all the way down, and then you don't want to bring Surfetch into it as this Icicle Spear is going through.
Yeah, you know, and here is where Andrew may excel here. We saw this on day 1 with Surfetch, able to excel with the 2-to-1 shield advantage with Surfetch, cleaning up the back end, and Surfetch having that Night Slash against even the Trevenant, and it's going to do great against the Galarian Stunfisk as well.
Brilliant by Bulk here, because you're almost at 2 body slams. I would be nervous to bring in this Surfetch. I would bring in the Azumarill because I'm scared of this Lickitung energy. I would rather save, and here comes the Azumarill, thinking maybe you can get this Lickitung within play rough range, but you have to take the super effective Power Whip first.
Yeah, I think if you're Andrew here, you whittle down this Lickitung to where you could counter now. And no, here comes the Surf Edge coming in right away, expecting the counter down here, getting a lot of energy. Is this the body slam coming up? And throws the Night Slash before the body slam. Now, does Bulk want to spend his last shield? No. So now this Surf Edge still has his 2-to-1 shield advantage, still fairly healthy, but it has to go through both a Trevenant and a Galarian Stunfisk. But the Galarian Stunfisk is also not that great against the Azumarill here. We have the shield advantage here. Here comes the Trevenant. Surf Edge is going to spend the first shield here, and it's going to start dishing out these Night Slashes. Do we see a boost?
And the thing is, you go for the Night Slash here, there is only one Protect Shield left for Trevenant. You should be able to get to 2 Night Slashes as that Shadow Claw does go through, and you do get the Protect Shield here. Surf Edge needs to get to the next Night Slash before this Trevenant gets the Seed Bomb. It's going to be very close.
Yeah, and you see, building up, the Seed Bomb is going to come out first, but does Andrew spend this last shield? I think Andrew will. I think Andrew will, and this is going to be Bulk's worst nightmare. You got the Surf Edge about to throw this Night Slash, finish.
Oh, and he goes for the swap, but he doesn't get it.
Does not catch it, but here comes the Surf Edge, able to adjust to the Surf Edge and tanking the Leaf Blade here. Is the Surf Edge going to be able to bank on Night Slash and maybe swap over to Azumarill?
And here comes the Leaf Blade. You don't get the move. You're one counter away, but you did get that swap, and now this Galarian Stunfisk might be within range of Ice Beam. This might be perfect for the Azumarill of Andrew, because you can throw an Ice Beam and then maybe get a couple bubbles to threaten Ice Beam on the Trevenant.
Yeah, although I think the Trevenant has a little bit energy tier too, so it's going to be razor thin, and throwing this Ice Beam right before this Rock Slide is ready. Can this Trevenant get a slight energy lead here too? Bulk might think there is a Night Slash ready on the Surf Edge, so may conserve a little energy and try to build up to 2. No, going for straight away the Seed Bomb, understanding the situation here, knowing that the Surf Edge is not at the Night Slash. Can Bulk come back from this?
Can Surf Edge survive one Shadow Claw? And does it survive? No, it gets knocked out by one Shadow Claw. It doesn't get to the Night Slash.
Wow, and we have a Game 3 on our hands. An incredible pivot over to Galarian Stunfisk.
We are getting into a lock-in. Game number 3, North America International Championships, live from Columbus. We have the Sableye into the Walrein.
Yeah, and now we see the Registeel for the first time here. This Registeel is actually going to be pretty well positioned here. Going to be very good against the Azumarill. And here comes the Azumarill Safe Swap, drawing out this Trevenant. I really like this play because this Registeel is going to have such a great matchup against this backline of Bulk.
Wow, I agree. That was a fantastic play to bait out this Trevenant. Registeel has 2 water types in the back to just Zap Cannon as that Seed Bomb goes through. And we know the Azumarill is just not terrible against Trevenant because these Ice Beams just do so much.
Yeah, and if you look at Bulk's team, there really isn't a very strong answer to Azumarill besides this Trevenant. So I think Andrew knows no matter what, if I safe swap this Azumarill, this Trevenant is going to be the only thing that can meet it if it's on Bulk's team.
And we've seen Azumarill survive this. The Seed Bomb is going to be super effective. We're going to see if the Azumarill can endure. Does, but needs 2 bubbles, I believe. Oh no, doesn't quite get there. Gets Shadow Claw down, so Trevenant takes that matchup, no problem, but is very low health.
Yeah, you know, I think this is still a pretty good spot for Andrew here because this Trevenant is in Shadow Claw range, and it looks like Andrew is just going Shadow Claw straight down here. And then now it has a decision, does he come in with the Azumarill or the Walrein here? Walrein coming in here would be great for Andrew because now the Azumarill is going to be in a very tough spot. Actually comes in with the Azumarill, so a really great call from Bulk here and understanding the situation. Now coming in with the Registeel, going to build up some extra energy. Now this is going to be the big game of their lives here. Going straight for the Earthquake. Let's see if Andrew makes a call here or not.
I think you have to. You have to shield it. There is the Protect Shield because Registeel is your win condition, so you have to invest shields into it. As you go for the Zap Cannon is going to get there far before the next Earthquake to debuff the Walrein.
A huge shield from Andrew too, and you got to think there's still the Sableye, so if Bulk even swaps out this Walrein with shields down, that Sableye has a return ready for the Walrein too. Going straight for another Earthquake. Does Andrew shield again?
Yeah, I think you invest. This is going to be the most impactful damage. Yes!
And we
another
get
huge shield!
Earthquake, a huge shield here. Now going for the Zap Cannon. Here's the problem here. Bulk can't even really catch a Zap Cannon since he's going to hit the Azumarill for super effective and is still locked in this matchup. Bulk spending the final shield here and maybe the final shield of his tournament run.
The weird thing is you still don't want to take an Earthquake, so you swap in return!
What a return swap, the combo play, catching this Walrein completely off guard here, doing a lot of damage,
and
almost knocking it out.
Oh, it holds on with 1 health, but how much energy did it have? It wasn't at the Earthquake quite yet, and here comes the play rough from the Azumarill. Oh, I don't know how much energy is on that Walrein, but I don't think it has an Earthquake.
It does not have an Earthquake. It might have an Icicle Spear, but here's the problem. problem. How do you take out this bulky Registeel without Hydro Pump? You're throwing resisted Play Roughs, you're throwing resisted Ice Beams, and here comes the first Play Rough. This is not going to do much damage. Walrein has only 1 or 2 HP left. I know Registeel doesn't hit very hard, but even Registeel can power through that one.
Yeah, but the hope is not gone. Here comes the Zap Cannon. Azumarill survives Zap Cannon. If you can somehow play rough plus Icicle Spear and wear down this Registeel, but can the Registeel get the lock-on down?
Get the lock-on down, indeed, that is definitely a good question, but maybe it's in Focus Blast range if Andrew is aware how much health is remaining. No, potentially going for a lock-on down here. This is going to be really interesting, and now it's going to make this game even more interesting than I expected.
Could this be enough? The Play Rough plus the Icicle Spear, do you combo move? No, the move is thrown. This is going to be the Focus Blast. We know Balk has energy. No, it has an Icicle Spear. Can Registeel hold on?
Let's see how strong this Registeel is that Andrew trained here.
Oh, Earthquake, no!
It doesn't! Does not get to it, and
Literally
the
one
lock-on goes through. Oh my gosh.
Literally 1 health on the Walrein because a lock-on, which is a 1-turn move, will go in before the charge move. So it looks like that Walrein literally had 1 health and got knocked out by the lock-on.